Aiden Pearce is probably one of the most misunderstood anti-heroes of all time. And I'm not going to try and convince you as to why I believe him to be one of the greatest anti-heroes of all time. He was created to be a Walter White / Batman hybrid. Even though Batman doesn't kill people, that's what he meant to be. When he came out, people thought he was very one note and he was very emotionless, but I beg to differ because they show very specific scenes where he does feel very emotional and he does show a lot of complexity and depth. I also believe Aiden Pearce to be one of the most unique characters through the series, even though the second Watch Dogs isn't very good and the third one isn't very good. I believe the first one to be one of Ubisoft's best games of all time. He's Irish and he grew up very rough in 1974. Eventually, when Aiden was about 30 years old, he became a very skilled hacker with Damien Brinks. Today they go and do a heist that's purely around hacking and staying in the shadows. The heist goes wrong and there's a third hacker there without them knowing. Aiden cancels the job and gets out of there. Soon after that, his niece is killed in the possession of him. He has survived, but his niece didn't, unfortunately. That forged Aiden Pearce to be the ruthless vigilante, the Fox. See, the game starts out with him making a choice whether or not he's going to kill Maurice or not. Even though the gun is not loaded, the player believes you're making a choice. Either way, Maurice stays alive because Aiden knows this is a bigger picture game and it wasn't Maurice that called for the hit. Throughout the game though, you see that Aiden Pearce is a loner. You see that he tries to stick to himself, even towards his family, because he believes that he's a monster because he got his niece killed. He stayed away from his family for a whole year and then he came back with his sister's kid, which is Jax, his nephew. And I believe this part to be one of the most emotional parts in the game. It shows that he has a lot of depth and people don't really paying attention to this part.
Jack's last birthday, Lena sang off key. Happy birthday. Full throttle, no holes barred. Now, I'm afraid of the silence.
That part really shows that Aiden Pearce cares for his family, but he thinks that he will ruin it for them. And eventually he does. I mean, he becomes obsessive and controlling. I mean, the man is literally watching them without their knowledge. I mean, he's kind of weird in that way. He feels like he has to be their protector. He has to watch over them. And even in some points of the game, Aiden does go a little bit too far.
Why are you calling?
Do you feel safe, Nikki?
What was that?
Doesn't matter, just some stupid crank. It happens.
Did you know his voice?
Oh, Jesus, Aiden, just leave it. It's fine.
It's fine. He thinks he can get inside.
How do you know what he thinks?
You're checking the locks.
Look, I can handle this on my own. We do not need your help.
I can find this guy.
God, you have not changed at all. We do not need your help. Please stop trying to fix our problems. Every time you try, you just make things worse.
I better go.
Someone got hired to be a prank caller to her and he hunts them down and literally murders them in broad daylight. He just don't give a fuck. But we gotta remember, this is Chicago in a world where the infrastructure can be literally manipulated on your phone. I mean, I'm starting to believe that shit's becoming real because apparently it is. I mean, you can look it up and Google it. You can fact check me. It pretty much is real. You can blow up steam pipes apparently, and you can hack it. You can hack fucking traffic signals. You can hack that. Like, this shit's becoming real. Like, people are ignorant to that. But this is not what the video is about. This is about Watch Dogs and Aiden Pearce and why I think you should love it. And why I believe when it first came out, it got a really hard time for no reason at all. And I believe as a collective society that we should give Watch Dogs, the first one, a chance. So it can maybe revive Ubisoft in the dog shit storm that they're in right now. There's certainly parts in this game that really don't make any sense, obviously, because it's a game. But I really just want to get to the root character trait of Aiden Pearce. And I really want to prove the people wrong that he's not a one-note Batman serial killer type character. He's not. He's his own unique character, and he shows a lot of character growth and depth throughout the series. But we're only going to talk about Aiden in the third one and in the second one a little bit, because all of the other games that do not have him in it, or the DLC that do have him in it, that's good. But the other parts of the games in the second one and the third one, they're just garbage. So we're not going to talk about them at all. But I did want to talk about, to get it out of the way, the particular Nightmare DLC with Aiden Pearce and an older Jax is just simply golden.
Aiden's mind doing this? He can't let this go, so she just haunts him?
You know what I saw there, right? Is Lena just in there all the time? We need to get the fuck out of here, so let's go! And what is this, exactly? A grave? Your grave?
I've caused enough damage and hardship in my life, Jackson.
Yeah? So say goodbye to the fox.
I love the fact that it shows you what's inside Aiden Pearce's head, like it's a fucking shroom trip. It's really good writing, but for some reason the rest of the game was fucking garbage. Only the DLC was good. I mean, even in that little pieces of DLC, I had a lot of tear-jerking moments. I had a really soft spot for Aiden Pearce in the series, I guess. Just like there's a lot of moments in the first game that's really good. I mean, they really tried with the first game. They wanted to try and compete with GTA, and obviously it didn't work, but it still made quite a bit of money. That's why they made a second and third fucking game to, you know, make it a trilogy. And they made DLC in between too, so it's like, it's not like it wasn't profitable. Plus, the first game got a lot of bullshit just because they lied on the first trailer. And people are like, oh, well, it didn't look as good as it was in the trailer. Well, obviously, all games lie on the fucking trailer. Every last one of them lie on the trailer. It's fucking stupid. People don't even like to give games tries anymore, just like Sleeping Dogs. I want to make a particular video on Sleeping Dogs because Sleeping Dogs should have made a lot more money than it did, and it should have had fucking 3 or 4 games by now. I mean, the game is amazing. Sleeping Dogs is fucking awesome. There's very specific moments that, you know, people like to ignore that Aiden Pearce shows in game that shows a lot of growth and character development. I mean, there was a time in the game where if somebody prank called his fucking sister, he would straight murder you. Once he meets Clara, you know, Bad Boy 17 was pretending like she wasn't a girl. When he finally met her, he really starts to show a lot of emotional depth and growth. Even though she betrays him and T-Bone, in the end he forgives her like it's nothing because he understands that it wasn't her fault that Lena got killed. It was really his fault and his mistakes with Damien Brinks, and it was really Damien's fault. He did all of it. It was really Lucky Quinn that did this to Aiden. I mean, he wasn't going to blame some woman that was given a contract. Like, she was just trying to do her job. She didn't mean to get Aiden Pearce and Damien basically crippled. I mean, crippled for emotionally for Aiden and crippled literally for Damien. But a lot of the reason why I like Aiden Pearce, and I think that they're trying to show you in subtle ways without showing. They're trying to do it by doing, by their actions, and they're not, is Jordy. Jordy Chin is a very, very good character.
Traction. I called the cops.
You did.
Oh, yeah, true story. So, cops arrive, and Maurice's little band of brothers arrive, and pow, 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 pow.
I mean, the dude is fucking hilarious, guys. Plus, Jordy Chin is like your friend that doesn't take life serious.
Oh, you're hilarious. You know, you guys take things far too personally. That's your problem. That's why this went wrong. There's lessons to be learned here, fellas.
And then, you know, by the end, I really don't like how they make him betray Aiden, but he ends up betraying him. And, like, in the end, he's still trying to, like, guys, you know, you're not supposed to take this so fucking serious. It's just a very cool and clean game. Like, I'm not saying it's just as good as GTA, but it's almost as good as GTA. And I believe that Aiden Pearce and the whole story in Watch Dogs 1 was given a hard time because GTA 5 basically overshadowed anything that Ubisoft was going to come out with at the time. Just like GTA 4 did with Sleeping Dogs and blah 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 fucking blah. I believe these games are hidden gems that they need to re-fucking visit instead of, you know, pandering to the fucking 1% crowd. I mean, even in the first game, it shows you complex characters like Iraq. Iraq is a broken soldier who was mistreated in the military, and he comes back and he decides, I'm going to take over the fucking hood and this city, and I'm going to do it with the richest crime boss I could possibly find, Lucky Quinn. And hell, even Lucky Quinn, even though he's fucking like Yoda's age, 900 fucking years old, he's an old head, he's perfectly done. Lucky Quinn is a very good character. Completely embodies like the Tony Sopranos and the Sonny Francises and worst crime bosses you could possibly think of. He embodies and some. Like, he's a sex trafficker, He's a drug dealer, he's an arms dealer. Like, the dude is just perfectly written in every way. And everyone thought it was Maurice or it was Damien, but it turns out it was Lucky Quinn, the guy that was calling the shots, calling all the contracts. Anyway, like, that was a huge shocker, you know what I mean? He was in the story from the beginning. You didn't really want to fuck with him, because it's like, if you do, you're dead, you know what I mean? It should have obviously been him, but then boom, when it hits, it's like, wow, it was Lucky Quinn that really did it, and he just didn't even give a shit. Like, look at his reaction.
Is this what all the fuss is about? You must forgive me. You know, so many people come to me with the little problems. Yeah, it's hard to keep track sometimes.
I would, like, not compare Aiden to Batman. Like, when people say that, they're wrong, and it's just wrong on so many levels. Like, the dude is more like John Wick and Walter White had a kid. Like, I can just go all day about the examples I have of how emotionally complex Aiden Pearce is, even as an anti-hero who serial kills people out in the open, who, you know, takes advantage of infrastructure and thieves and steals and takes lives and affects lives and, like, hangs out with the worst of the worst. Like, he's a very in-depth character. He is not one note. When people say he is one note, they are fucking wrong. I really like how Aiden tries to almost obsessively try to protect his family. Like, it's almost kind of weird how he protects his family. Like, he has cameras in their house without them knowing, and it's not like a sexual thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not weird. It's just he's overly protective. Like, he wants to be their guardian angel. He wants to be the hero. You know what I mean? And even to his own detriment to the relationship of his family. It's just, it's pathetic in a way. And it's because he's scared. He's terrified. Like, why he's emotionally complex? Because he's fucking scared. He's a scared anti-hero. I even like the character of Bedbug, the one that got him close to the boss of Iraq. That's even a good side character. He's 19, he's a kid, he doesn't really know what he's doing in life, and Aiden didn't know that until the end, but he was trying to get him out of it. He was trying to help him, even though he was manipulating him to use him and his advantage. Ultimately, in the end, he was like, man, you're just a kid, man.
Relax. How old are you?
19. I'm 19, man.
Jesus. You're still a kid.
What are you doing? What the fuck? He's real close!
But anyway, I digress. Like, it just goes to show you he felt bad for Bedbug, even though he ends up dead in the end. Even though he can be a over-possessive, selfish serial killer, I believe him to be one of the most complex main characters in all of gaming. Twisted sense of justice, since nothing gets done about the corruption in Chicago and CTOS itself, with the government also being corrupt and the mayor killing somebody and it being used against him by Lucky Quinn. Aiden it also eventually saves a prostitution ring and puts himself at risk for one prostitute in particular named Poppy, and got all of their people out. I mean, that takes a level of care that I don't believe a lot of heroes have. Just because Aiden Pearce is recluse and a loner doesn't make him one note and emotionless. There's actually a lot of moments that he shows emotion, and I try to prove that with scenes in the game, and not a lot of people pay attention to certain things, and I always pay attention to things like this. Aiden Pearce is also unequivocally badass. The man is faced with imminent death multiple times, and his reaction is just, or he's faced with mind-shattering or life-altering altercations, and he's just cold, relenting, and calculated. The man is straight badass. I mean, it's pretty evident in all of the video I've been showing, and even within the action sequences he portrays. Aiden is also extremely intelligent and a very wise man. And I believe Lucky Quinn to be a super terrifying villain. I mean, the dude is, like, very terrifying. Like, even though he's an old man, it's almost, like, crazy how it doesn't matter his age as someone. Like, the dude is terrifying, just the embodiment of him. You don't know what he's gonna do, what he's gonna say, and he has so much, like, he has such a vast network of power and authority.
Here's how the world turns. Not much room for fuck-ups.
It wasn't.
You know, calm now. It's all right. Get a chance to talk to your mama? Call your friends? Your girl?
Iraq, like I said before, is like a broken military man, feels betrayed by the system, and he knows how to control a large swath of people. Very well put together game. You try to prove like my points with obvious things in the game that show you that he's a very complex character, and I really hope that I at least changed your mind and made you want to revisit the game, at least in some capacity. Anyway, if you enjoyed what I said, see ya.
I'm a man of my word.